my dad's story I mentioned to you before. For me, as I mentioned,
sorry, I forgot to hit the record button.
Oh, that's okay.
We'll start now, okay, guys?
I'm going to have to repeat this.
I'm recording.
That's okay. For me personally, I spoke to you about my dad's health, and for me, I honestly thought it was him aging. I thought, well, that's what you do. You lose your memory, you forget to turn off the water, you turn off. Do you know what I mean? But there's a lot of contributing things that contribute to our aging, and it's all around to do with oxidative stress. Now, you can go and look up oxidative stress in an online library called PubMed, and you probably have, or someone's asked you to do that. But basically, if you were to type in oxidative stress into the PubMed online library and type in a disease or an ailment, you will see that there's a correlation between oxidative stress and that disease. And this is why these products that LifeVantage produce are so good, because it addresses oxidative stress in all these elements of body care, pain, anti-aging, skin care, gut health, hair care, energy, because we all experience oxidative stress on different levels. And this is why our products are so different compared to the rest around the world. And I just want to talk to you a minute about oxidative stress and what the heck does it even look like? This is what oxidative stress looks like in the living form right now. We live with oxidative stress, or we live with the environment. We have children now that have adult diseases. It is absolutely mind-blowing. You and I both breathe it in every day. If you sit on a motorway and sitting beside the block-ups, or probably not so much, but it will be heading towards Christmas, we sit in an environment where oxidative stress is, we're either touching it. I tell you, I'm going to talk to you about chemicals shortly. But our fruit, our vegetables, pesticides, herbicides. In fact, I was told that we drink up to 7 litres of pesticides and herbicides a year, just with the foods that we consume. Petrol, well, you see the sprays there. But someone says to me, well, how can I get away from it? Well, if you own a private island like Richard Branson, you can go live on that island, but we can't get away from it. So we have to live with it. But what comes with living with it, we have to look after our bodies more than ever. And this is why these products stand apart from anything else. I talked to you about chemicals. Here's something that you might not be aware of, but untested chemicals are everywhere. 80,000 chemicals have been introduced since the labour force movement. It's huge. And of course, half of them don't even need to be regulated. This here, it's a glass bottle. Oh, look, it's great. I'm not using plastic, but I can tell you right now, the thing that surrounds it's got chemicals in it. What we put on our face, what we touch is all chemicals. What we spray and wipe on our tables, it's chemicals. You might think it's looking clean, but we're breathing that every day. We're in fly season here in New Zealand. My husband goes out to buy fly spray the other day, and I said, don't you buy that chemical stuff here, because we're breathing it in, and you can certainly smell it. But that's the environment that you and I are in every day. So how do we address it? So one of the things that our product holds, and I'm just going to talk about this one molecule that sits in our body, it's glutathione. We both produce it. Our body naturally produces it over years. But unfortunately, we lose glutathione as we age. And we lose roughly about 1% every decade that we are on this planet, or 1% every year, I should say. But glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants. It's a master detoxifier. And yeah, you might see some numbers and some shapes there, but it's really important for your health and my health to be active in this world, because it is responsible for us to peak at our peak performance as we age, as we walk, as we think about anything. And this is what glutathione will look like when we do research. And who is talking about glutathione? Because people like Dr. Mark Heyman, who is a world-renowned doctor, leader in health, talks about the reason why we need to have glutathione. glutathione is so important to how our body functions. This is why Protandim, I have fallen in love with this. In fact, I could marry it if I tried. But we need glutathione. You might be thinking to yourself, well, how do I know how much glutathione I have in my body? But I can tell you from the research and what we understand about how our normal body functions, we lose glutathione every year. In fact, 95% of our glutathione sits in our brain. So you can imagine by the time you're 50-something like me, and you're walking down the hallway and you've forgotten what you're walking down the hallway for, it's that brain fog moment. It's because, you know, a lot of it has to do with our current health status, and glutathione is a huge part of that. So you don't, you know, go and do the research. You know, what's all this glutathione this girl is talking about? But it's huge. And what our product has been known, it was known to do, and what it's famous for around the world now, is that it raises, we get to raise glutathione by 300%. So what's so good about this? And Dr. Joe McCord created this. It's 5 synergistic herbs combined together, and you probably have it in your cupboard. But the way he's created this, the way we've got patents on this product, is because of the way that those herbs come together. It's like dating. But the way that he's patented this, and with the patents, is that it activates a pathway in our body to produce glutathione, and the science is pretty epic. We have over 30 peer-reviewed studies done on this. Look, if you understand peer-reviewed studies through that PubMed, the PubMed is the gold standard for any specialists and any doctors and health professionals around the world. They go on there to find out what's the latest gossip and research. That's what they do, because they're stuck in an office all day. So they will go on PubMed and they will try and, you know, and they'll figure out what's been happening around the world. But you will find 30 of our studies, peer-reviewed studies, done on there, which is, you know, you won't get that. You won't get that with any other product on the market. So Protandim has been clinically proven to lower oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days and up to 70% in 90 days. You know how I spoke to you about oxidative stress before? So, you know, we are now have the opportunity to start reducing that and living to our full potential. Phenomenal. Gets me excited, I tell you. And of course, we've got even institutes that are now saying NRF2 may become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Ohio State University said that. It's pretty amazing. And I know what it's like for a university. I worked in the university for 20 years doing research. And for universities to come out and say claims like that, you know you've got a good product on hand. So our products, for me, I've got some beautiful stories with people that I've shared with this, but we address everything to do with oxidative stress. Our body care, look, you want to get that in on your body because we've got Botox in a bottle. Amazing. The amount of people that I have that want to get that bottle because of our NRF2, how it addresses oxidative stress. Because we have our anti-aging system, we have our skincare system, all play an important role of keeping our bodies healthy. Our gut health is phenomenal. Our hair care system, our energy system, and our immunity. And guys, immunity today is probably the biggest key for us to feel safe in how we are living in our communities right now. And when we have products that look after our immunity system, I feel very proud about that. So look, now is the time. This is the time of the hour. I do want to hand you over to Nick, and he's going to share you a bit about the business. But Nick comes from a very successful, lucrative background in this industry, in this model of network marketing. He's lived in Greece and you know, in different parts of the world, because he's been able to use models and work with communities to change their lives. And I'm just really honoured to be working and presenting with Nick here tonight, because he's got such a wealth of knowledge in this industry and where it's moving. And if you're here tonight to get a deeper understanding of the business, then you have got the right guy talking to you about that. So I'm very excited to hand this over to Nick. So Nick, all yours. I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to hand that over to you. So yeah, you're going to take it away. I know you're going to share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Deb. That was wonderful. Guys, hi everyone. Thanks for attending. Thanks for taking the time to listen to us. It says Josie Tong on the bottom left-hand corner of my screen. My name is Nick Roditis. I'm just accessing Josie Tong's Zoom. She's missing in action tonight. I hope we can pray for her that she's okay. I'll give her another call later. I don't know where she is, but anyway, I logged into her account. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of people. So first of all, Zuzette. Zuzette's a very close friend of mine, and she's on for the first time tonight. She's already joined the business, but this is her first live attendance. So, hey, Zuzette, I'm very happy that you're here. And I want to give a special shout out to Monique. I won't say the reason why because it's personal, but she had a tremendous win today, a tremendous personal win. So, hey, Monique, well, wonderful. We're very, very proud of you. Very happy for you. Can't wait to give you a hug.
Thanks, Nick. I'm very excited.
Okay. So, and just much love and respect to everyone. So, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to share my screen. I'll just look at my big screen for a second. Share screen. We did have some technical difficulties today, but it looks like we're all underway. So I'm going to try to make this interactive. I'm going to pull up my chat box. Now, can everyone see that there? If you can just type me a 1 if you can see that, okay? Because I'm not really sure. Is that okay, guys? Yeah. Now, can you see the whole thing, or is the chat box in the way? You can see the whole thing. Okay, great. So these are my slides. I want to show you what. Thank you very much for the feedback, guys. I like a bit of interaction because otherwise I'm just looking at a screen. Great. So these are my slides. Give me a second. I'll make it few single page. There we go. So a little bit about a background on me. So I'm a civil engineering background. I used to design factories for a living. I got married very, very young. Just barely turned 21 and I was married. And by 24, I had 2 kids. And by 27, I had 3 kids. And I was always working a second job the first 5-6 years of my marriage because we had children and my wife had to stay home to look after the kids. And I was just very junior in my work, and it still wasn't enough to make ends meet and pay for the mortgage. Just Deb, can you be on top of the participants because it was late participants? Can you be on top of the admissions, please, Deb? Thanks. And anyway, so in 2001, I heard of this concept called network marketing. In 2001, I was 26 years at the time, and I was hungry for opportunity. I was hungry to do something to increase my income. Actually, when people were teenagers and they used to play soccer and cricket on the streets, well, I was doing a bit of that, but what I was really doing, I was looking for ways to get rich as a teenager. I was reading books on how to retire young as a teenager. So I was just always looking for ways. And my thinking was, I don't like taking huge monetary risks. So I want to find a method in which I don't have to put a lot of money, but I can put my time in, and I want to do well. I wanted to retire young. I always had that in me. So I found this thing called network marketing at the age of 26, and I absolutely thought it was the best thing I ever saw. And I was very fortunate that it was a tier 1 company because I was very green. I had no idea. I probably would have joined a scam. I had no idea whether it was a scam or a tier 2 company or a tier 1 company. I had no idea how to tell the difference. So it happened to be a tier 1 company, a public company. It was a great company. I worked really hard for just under 2.5 years, and I was able to achieve the dream. The secret was I joined a great company, and I worked really, really hard. I probably put 10 years worth of work into 2.5 years, and I was able to retire at 28 and buy all these commercial properties. And that's a picture of Greece. Deb, can you hear me, Deb? There's people still admitting. I just admitted 2 people. So that's a picture of exactly where I was living in Greece. It was in Kalamata, Greece. It was a country town, probably 60 or 70,000 population, kilometers of beachfront, mountains going into the beach. At the right time of year, it would be snowing on the mountains. You could be up in the snow, playing in fresh snow, in like 1 meter deep fresh snow, making snowmen. And within half an hour, you could drive down to the water and swim in the beach, and it'd be nice and warm. And I don't know how many places on earth you can do that, but you could do that in Kalamata, which is the most wonderful place to raise a family. I did that for 15 years. And then as my kids got older, I came back to Australia. I got married too young and didn't have the wisdom to choose someone I was compatible with. So I actually gave all my wealth away, and I came back to state again financially because all my kids were grown up and they're all in uni. And I tried doing a traditional company. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Ben. Your Bruce is amazing. I tried building a traditional company. So I joined a startup when I came back to Australia in 2017. It was a biotech investment bank startup. And we were kind of around 30 or 40 employees. And over the course of the next 3.5 years, we took it to over 200 employees. And we listed, and my core goal was, I was in the business unit to list a medical asset on the NASDAQ. And we actually listed. We're an Australian startup, and we listed on the NASDAQ. It was a huge deal. And yet I lost over $330,000 in the process. It wasn't a successful business venture. It was successful on paper, but as a investment, it lost a lot of money for everyone, unfortunately. So I thought I better go back to network marketing. That's what got me financially free in the first place. I better go back. And 20 years of experience, I knew what to look for this time. So this is what I'm going to show you guys. And I've only shown this, I think, once before. That's my previously I did very well, and I won Employee of the Year in the investment. So I know a thing or two about business. Now, 20 years ago, this gentleman really changed my life. This is one of the profound quotes that I remembered weekly just for 20 years. Weekly, this would be ringing in my head. Find a way to serve the many, because service to many leads to greatness. Now that actually comes from the Bible. So Jim Rome is just paraphrasing the Bible there. But he was instrumental in my life. He taught me a lot of life philosophies, which has drastically improved my life. So I wanted to find a way to serve the many, right? So what do the many want? You can give me some comments, guys. So I love interaction. What do you think? Do you think people want to have their own home and they want to have investment properties debt-free, unencumbered? Do you think people want that? Do you think people want to have passive income coming into their lives? How about health? Do you think people want better health? Do you think people just like, when you have your golden years, you want to have health to enjoy your golden years, right? What about belonging to something that's bigger than you? Belonging to a mission that's bigger than you, that you like it's an extended family. So I feel that with church. When I go to church, I just feel my soul just belongs. And even though there's strangers around me, I just feel we're one family. I feel that here in LifeVantage as well. I feel like Deb and I have never met her. We've never really talked much, but you know what? If I see her, we're like soul brother, soul sister, because we're attracting that type of person. That's a really important one to me. What about making significant contribution? Because guys, let me tell you, even if you won Powerball $80 million, if you didn't find a way to contribute back to the world, you would be miserable. And all the people, there's been so many studies done. So making contribution and helping others is actually really significant. It's actually at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of pyramid. The top is actually contributing back to society. It's the most noble of human needs. And people want security, don't you think? So can we agree? Is there anything that I missed? I think in my search, I think this is what I found. This is what people are after. Okay. So we've got, and there's just a bit of, a lot of Australians are doing it tough. Now, let's have a look how many are doing well out of investments. Do you know only 1 out of 625 people in Australia owns 4 investment properties? And the bulk of them are cash flow negative. So that's why it's so hard to build wealth. I mean, there's some people that definitely do it, but to build huge passive income through real estate is actually kind of hard, because you accumulate a lot of debt, and that just something has to go wrong, and then you're stuffed. If you have that much debt against you, like just interest rates rise 3 or 4%, and you're in a lot of trouble. So very few people actually end up doing it through real estate. I've got a much better option. I was able to pay off 5 commercial properties and build a 3-story house in 2.5 years. I'm going to show you a much better way to invest in real estate, and that's build a LifeVantage business, have excessive income, and you can do that in 3 or 4 years. Or 2 years even, and then use that excessive cash flow to buy your real estate. And that way you'll never feel the the burden of the debt. It's a much better way to invest in real estate. And Robert Kiyosaki told me that, and it worked for me. So here's one elegant solution. So let's just look at what direct sales is as a snapshot. Let's look at what network marketing is. On the left is pretty much every product that you buy, whether it's a mobile phone or a can of baked beans or whatever, or this rubber band that I'm holding. You have a manufacturer and all these distribution people, and you end up going to a retail shop and the consumer buys it. And those green like oblongs in the middle, they do not improve the product. They simply move it along and market the price up. That's all they do. And they're necessary in the traditional way of doing things, right? So about 90% of the cost of this rubber band or of this mobile phone or of a box of cornflakes, about 90% of that goes to the middleman, and the company making it doesn't actually get that much. But the company making it like kind of gets a 10%, but the consumer pays 100%, and it all goes to the middleman. And it's a necessary model. Now, network marketing or direct sales is when we get rid of all those middle people, and we are the middleman, and we get a product from a company. We conversationally market it like we're doing tonight. We transfer knowledge and belief to people. So this is a business of transferring knowledge and belief. It's not a it's educating people and letting the right people come to you. If you think of it as a sales business, you won't do that well. You've got to think of it of a business of transferring knowledge and belief. That's why the housewives and the mums do so well and the teachers do so well in network marketing. That's why, because they know how to educate people. They know how to transfer education. And we give it to the consumer. We don't have to handle the product. We just got to share our link, right? And when the consumer buys, and it's a much more efficient model because the company doesn't pay an advertising budget. The company pays a commission after the sale's made. Now, it doesn't work for everything. This model won't work for mobile phones. It won't work for rubber bands. This model only works for very high quality, unique consumable products. That's where it shines. High quality, unique consumable products, it shines. The cars and the computers and the rubber bands and the cornflakes, they have to work on the left side, okay? So that's just a snapshot how it works. Now, does it work? Yeah, well, these are actual official statistics. In 2019, there were 33 network marketing companies that did over $1 billion in sales, 33 of them. There's a whole bunch of them are publicly traded on the stock market. And every day, $122 million is paid out in commission globally to people like myself and Deb. Every day, 122 million. All you got to do, and this has been going up every year for decades, this number. So the next year it'll be higher than the 122. All you got to do is just get a little slice of that growth. So last year, 180 billion was sold in this industry, 180 billion. So it's not a little industry, right? So here are the benefits. So guys, have a read of these quickly and just write to me your top two. Is your top benefit of network marketing? Is it that you can choose your hours? Is it that it's a turnkey business, like a franchise in a box, like a mini franchise, like everything's been figured out for you. You just got to do the promotional piece. Everything else is figured out. The legalities, the products, the distribution, all that's been figured out for you. Is it that you make fantastic friends? Is it that you can make a high income? Is it that you earn as you learn? Which one? Can you guys give me a bit of chat? I really love, I actually love 3, that you make fantastic friends. 1 and 5. I love it. You can make high income potential and a reliable passive income. Yep. 2 and 4. And I actually love my character. I love the fact that it's low startup costs. Low startup cost to me means pretty much zero risk, because you're just buying some products to get started. You consume the products, so there's no real risk in my eyes. The only risk is if you don't put the effort in. That's it. 3 and 9. Thank you, guys. 3 and which 9? Travel opportunities. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, actually, I'm hoping to win a travel to the US this year. I'm on track this month. I'm on track to win it this month. Personal development and legacy. So thanks for sharing, guys. So let's look. Now, why would someone choose LifeVantage? There's other companies out there. Like Amway is a good company. It's been around for like 50 or 60 years. Yasana is a great company. I made almost $4 million out of Yasana. I could have gone back to Yasana, right? It's a great company. Well, Herbalife did $5.5 billion in sales last year. Herbalife, yeah. So why would we choose LifeVantage and not go to one of these other companies? Well, let's have a look, because I could have gone to any one of these companies because I made a very conscious decision to choose LifeVantage. Let me show you what I saw. Here's my 12-point safety checklist for selecting the right home business today in 2021, 2022, coming up. Why is LifeVantage the smartest one today? Okay. So number one, my number one golden rule from working from home, partner with a publicly traded company that's profitable. If it's not, so I got presented LifeVantage about 3 years ago when it just came to Australia, and I said no, because a person telling me didn't bother to tell me it was a public company. They didn't tell me it was public. So I just assumed it wasn't. So I just said no straight away, because my number one rule is I will only consider joining. I'll only do my due diligence if it's a publicly traded and profitable company. And when Josie told me it's public, I go, oh, I better check it out. I haven't heard of LifeVantage, I better check it out. Now, here's my thinking. I want to work hard for 3 or 4 years, and I want to get paid for the next 50 years. A private company won't give me that. The private companies come and go. A public company is scrutinized by the government and by government auditors and government regulators, and they have staying power, and they have corporate governance, and you can bet your future that LifeVantage will be around in 30 or 40 years. I did it with my last company. I'm still good 20 years later. There's still a paycheck there every Friday, even though I only worked at 2.5 years. So this is like my number one rule. So that automatically calls out 99% of opportunities out there. Number two, the company should be a member of the DSA. The DSA is kind of like the police of the work from home industry. If you Google work from home, or if you Google home-based business, or if you Google I want to get rich or whatever, there'll be millions and millions of websites. And yet there's only 130 companies that qualify as members of the DSA. So to me, why would you choose outside of that? It's just, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting your energy and your money and your valuable time. Choose a company that's a member of the DSA. They're the police of the work from home industry. They protect you. So being public. So rule number one, rule number two calls out 99.8% of opportunities out there. Okay. Number three, look for a company. This is my third rule. Look for a company where the average person is making money, the average person who's working, not the average person who starts and doesn't put the effort in. The average person who starts and puts the effort in, who's making money. So let's just look at our official statistics. Now this is scrutinized by the US government, this figure. So the average Pro 6 in LifeVantage takes 22 months to get there. And the average Pro 6 makes $6,700 USD per month. So guys, you don't even have to be amazing. You just got to follow the system 2 hours a day for 22 months and you'll get there. Like I grabbed LifeVantage by the horn about three to 4 months ago, and I started working hard. I'm already Pro 5. So this thing works. That's a very important one to me. Number four, this is very important to me. Look for a truly unique product to represent. Now, there's a lot of good companies out there, but hardly any of them have uniqueness. All of them, you can go and buy something competing at the shops. Usana is I love Usana. It's a fantastic company, but they have a vitamin product. You can go and buy it at the shops. We have something unique. That means people have to come to us. People can't go and get an NRF2 activator at the shops. They have to come to us. Uniqueness means the people have to come to you. It's a very significant business advantage. My fifth rule, look for a product that improves people's lives. Guys, we have a Facebook community of about 36,000 people who take the product, and there is thousands and thousands and thousands of stories in there. We are definitely changing lives. This is very important to me because I could have went out and I could have made money somewhere else, but I wanted this. I wanted to improve people's lives. It was very important to me because when you improve someone's health, you make lifelong friends. Money aside, when you improve someone's life because you improve their health, you've got a lifelong friend, and that's important to me. I've got friends all over the world because of this business. I wanted to find a product that was consumable with a very high order rate. We've got the highest reorder rate in the industry. That's pretty good to know. And this is really important to me. Look for a product that's scientifically validated, scientifically proven. So the US National Library of Medicine is the biggest medical database on earth. If you go to your doctor and say, hey doc, should I be taking Protandim? Your doctor more than likely hasn't heard of it. So he might or she might say no. Well, you say, hang on a sec, doc, can you please just plug it into your PubMed? And your doctor will put it into PubMed and say, hey, there's 28 peer-reviewed clinical studies there. Yep, it's a good thing. You should take it. Because we're in there listed amongst the drugs and we're not a drug. I'm not aware of any other natural product that's in there. I've been searching. I have not yet found another natural product that's considered like a supplement. We're considered a supplement category, even though we're not a supplement, we're an activator. I've not found another natural product which is not drug in this medical database, and yet we've got 28 peer-reviewed clinical studies. And in Google Scholar, we've got over 560 clinical studies in Google Scholar pro tandem. And this is very important. People don't think of this. You want to have a company with all the patents in place, because again, I want to work hard for 3 or 4 years, and then I want to pass, when after I die, I want to pass this business on to my kids and my grandkids, right? If the patents are not in place, that won't happen. Oops, there's our patents. So we've got patents means you have market exclusivity. That's what it means. You're protecting your market exclusivity. So there's all our patents, guys. So that is a significant competitive advantage if you're a long-term thinker, as I am. Look for a growth sector. Now, how's this for a growth sector? Again, go to the US Library of Medicine and put in NRF2, which is a protein in your body, which is an emerging science of understanding what that protein does. It basically produces antioxidants and it keeps you young. And as it starts to not work very well, as it starts to clog up, you start to age. This is the most prominent theory on aging. You can see there's been over 90, there's been actually, this is an old slide. There's over 20,000 clinical studies there that are peer-reviewed on PubMed. You will see that they've all been done in the last 6 or 7 years. 95% of them have been done in the last 6 or 7 years. So LifeVantage Pro Tandem was invented in 2003. Look, oops, let me go back here. Can you see my cursor, guys? Here. When people, when scientists and doctors and physicians didn't know what an NRF2 protein was, this has already had 20 or 30 years of research done, and we developed in 2003. We are decades ahead of the competition. We are like the Tesla of nutrition. We're just light years in front of everything. So my rule number 10, look for a company that has years of growth phase. Now, I wouldn't have been happy to join a company that's under 10 years old. I wouldn't have been happy to join a company that's over 25 years old. This is why most companies statistically, now this is not network marketing, this is any industry, any sector, any industry, the statistics are almost all of them fail in the first 10 years because there's just too many hurdles to be successful. There's too many hurdles to get it right, and there's too many hurdles to scale. So it takes about 10 years for a company to figure it out and to scale. It takes about 10 years. And then the typical growth curve is they go for an accelerated growth curve, which lasts 10 to 15 years. And then it's a plateau phase. So you want to get involved with a company that's just over 10 years old, and you don't want to get involved with a company that's like 20, 25 years old because you've missed it. You've missed the boat already. That's where we are. We've proven we're stable, we're rock solid, and we've got probably 10 to 15 years of growth in front of us. And you only have to grab a tiny slither of that growth to retire very comfortably. That's all you've got to do. And we'll show you how to do that. Number 11, you want a company with ongoing market expansion. We just opened the Philippines. Philippines, a population of 100 million people. And we're in 20 countries. LifeVantage is in about 20 countries where we can trade. So guys, if you add up the population of those 20 countries, it's about 2.5 billion people. I think there's probably, I'm just guessing, there's probably, I don't know, 100 or 200,000 people who take Pro Tandem. There's probably like 1 million people in the world who haven't heard of the word Pro Tandem, probably, I'm just guessing. It's 2.5 billion people in our markets. Even if we don't open up any more markets, there is more than enough opportunity for you. We haven't touched the tip of the iceberg. And we open up new markets regularly. So you get the chance to getting at the beginning of a market every year or so. Actually, we just opened up the Philippines. We're at the beginning. There's 100 million people there. Probably 500 of them or 1,000 of them have heard of LifeVantage. There's 99.99 million that haven't heard of LifeVantage. It's virgin territory. And this is a fun one. Look for a company with just a loving culture, a team culture, a supporting culture, where like I've got your back, even though we're technically don't make money, we're separate to each other. You're not in my business, I'm not in your business. We've got each other's back. We've got each other's back. We support each other. If Deb needs something, I'll help her. If I need something, she'll help me, even though she's in New Zealand. This is just the culture. And I wanted that. And actually, when I went last year, I went to, and I physically got together for the first time with my sponsor, and there was about 50 people in a room. It was so cool. We were going to lunch, and most people were just leaving their wallet on the table and going out, like going to the toilet and coming back, and just like no one even gave it a second thought. We're a family. No one even crossed their mind to do the wrong thing. I love that culture about this company, and I was looking for that, and I found it. So, guys, can you drop me my favorite number is 9. Drop me a 9 if you learned something, and if you learned something valuable, please. Cool. So, okay, thank you. Give me 10. Wow. Give me a feedback. Give me your, was there an aha moment? Can you write, did you have one, if you had one aha moment, just write what your aha moment was. What, did you get clarity on anything? Does anyone want to share what the aha moment was during those slides? Okay, I'm getting all these numbers. If someone writes, I'll talk about it. Thank you, guys. So, guys, that's why I joined LifeVantage. I was very purposely looking for the right type of company. Now, let's look at how you can apply this to your business. So, it says, look at my big screen. Where we are, company 9. You have clarified the importance of this product for me. Zizette, thanks, Zizette. Thanks for the feedback. So many people can be helped with health. Absolutely, a better way to earn, a better way to live. the first slide. Community. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, that's important to me too. Great. I appreciate the feedback, because I like talking in front of people. In front of the screen is a bit weird. I appreciate the feedback. Okay, so if you're a guest here tonight, you got 3 choices. Okay, you can get started. You can, as soon as we finish, you can call up the person who invited you. Say, hey, I want to get cracking. This feels good. I want to do this. I just want to, for a year. I just want to do this for a year and see what happens, or for 2 years. Is it get rich quick? You're not going to get rich in your first couple of months, but you know what? In 3 or 4 years, you probably can retire. That's quick in my books. So if you're a distributor, I'll show you the options in a minute. You can, if you decide to be that, that's fantastic. We're happy for you. You can choose to be a customer. You might be too busy. You might do well for yourself financially, but you want to take the products. Well, that's fantastic. There's actually more customers in LifeVantage than there are distributors. The person that invited you will give you their link. You order the products and you look and feel great, and you'll actually get a referral link that you can share with your friends, and you'll get a discount off your next order. So you refer and save. As a distributor, you refer and earn. As a customer, you refer and save. Now, some people are very analytical people, and they just want to keep exploring. That's fine with us too. Just figure out what you need. Do you need a one-on-one with someone successful? Do you need scientific information? Do you need testimonials? Figure out what you need and just come back to us, and we'll supply that off you. So figure out if you're 1, 2, or 3. We're okay either way. It's whatever's best for you. It's not so much of a selling business as it is a sorting business. We just put people in the right categories and just give them what they need, and it's just easy. It's much easier that way. So this is the options for the distributor. So if you choose to be a distributor today, congratulations. It's like a franchise. It's like buying a franchise, like a McDonald's franchise, only we're doing good without all the overheads. It's all systematized. Okay, so let's look what that looks like. So we have 3 packs. We have the silver pack, the gold pack, and the platinum pack. It depends on your goals. So if you say which one's best, it just depends on your goals. So if you've got smaller goals, if you just want to pay off your credit card debt and you want to have fun and you don't really want to too much follow a system, you just want to do it intuitively in the nooks and crannies. And whenever someone brings up health or whenever someone brings up business, you can share some information with them. If you just want to do it like a hobby and kind of earn hobby income, maybe a few $100 or $1,000 or so a month, this might be the pack for you. $425. They're the products you get. You get the nutritionals, the protandins, and you get the hair care system. It's a good pack for the kind of the hobby person. And the person who's got a little bit more ambitious goals, got the mid pack. This is for the person that wants to go a little bit further, want to get there a little bit quicker. You get a bit more of everything, so you can try the skincare as well. There's more points assigned to this. So the last pack, there was 250 points, as you can see right here. This pack has got 500 points. So you're going to get there a bit quicker because people copy you. People, when they sign up, if you do this one, they'll say, what did you do? And they'll copy you, right? So you'll get there a little bit quicker. Now, there is also the theory of think big. If you're a big thinker, this is the pack to get. If you want to escape the rat race, if you want financial independence, this is absolutely the pack you should get. A couple of reasons. You get more products, so you can test, you can try everything, and you get a bit left over, so you can sell to some people who I've sold. I don't try to sell, but sometimes people just want to take it and they just give you cash and they insist. So you have someone stock that. It's good for that. What's important is there's 1,000 points assigned to this, and people will copy you. So when, let's say over the course of the next 6 months, you get, I don't know, 20 customers and 10 distributors over the next 6 months. It's in people's DNA. Every one of them will ask you, what did you do? It's in people's DNA. They have to ask you. They say, which one did you start on? And if you say, this is how I say this, I say, of course, a platinum pack. That's what I say. And 9 out of 10 will copy you. And the 10th one will want to copy you, and they just won't have the money. So because if you think a little bit bigger and do the big pack, people will copy you. You'll get to your goals quicker. Now, you can start off small and you can upgrade. You can do that. Are you small ambition, medium ambition, or large ambition? You choose the pack, and we'll work with you regardless. This is the slide that that Deb shared at the beginning. We're an awesome team. We've got each other's back. I'm going to stop the screen share and stop the recording, and we can open it up for some questions. Yeah, okay. Any questions? Hey, Deb, how was that? Has anyone got any questions? You can unmute and ask me a question if you have any questions. Otherwise, yeah, I really appreciate you attending tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, very, very, very good. And I learned so much more from you and your perspective and how you view business. And I think every one of us view business in what our own mind tells us, because that's the level we come in. And it's so great to speak to someone who has a bigger view, has been in it a bit longer, because that's where we need to pick your brains and figure out, well, what is it that I understand? What more questions do I need to understand, and how can you help me provide more knowledge? So definitely you've given us that tonight, Nick. So and both of us will be going to Utah by the looks of it next year. So that's very exciting to go to corporate and their new building.
Yeah.
Again, amazing opportunity. Any questions? Gosh, lots of people on tonight too.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I really appreciate your time. I'm glad. I just hope I could provide some value there. But that was actually a personal presentation for me. That's just so you could see why I joined LifeVantage, and we are most definitely in the right company at the right time, and we're changing lives, and we'd welcome you on the team. And yeah, so this is when someone joins my team, I make them a promise. I make them this promise: I'll treat your business as seriously as you treat it. So if you're treating your business seriously, I'll be there for you. You can call me. You can use me for 3 ways. You want to go meet a prospect and they're in Canberra, we'll get in the car, we'll go and see them. I'm there for my team. I will. I'm like that. As long as if you want to wake me up at 3 a.m. for a 3-hour call, I'll do it for you. If you're treating your business serious. And guys, it's an awesome business. And yeah, God bless everyone. Yeah. Okay. You have a good night. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks, see you guys.